Well, it's Friday, and we're still not dead. What is on the Watchman workbench today? Well, that would be a Quadroflex 969. So, turns out that these here diodes are temperature, they're affected by the temperature. So the warmer they get, the rating will change on how much current that it will let go through the diode. What that does is it's a protection system for the amplifier, and if there's a thermal runaway, if it gets too warm, it will shut it down. And the issue is the customer says it blows fuses, and well, a good reason why it would blow fuses would be if these puppies weren't securely attached to either this black bar here or the bias transistor cans themselves. So we're going to go down to the bar. Originally we're just going to use RTV, but I really don't like that idea. So I'm going to go with a mechanical clamp and clamp it down with a little bit of thermal paste underneath of it, and then I'll throw a little bit of RTV on the ends there. You can't cover, like you see the white silicone covering the diode there. I got to clean all that off because you can't cover the diode. It's got to be firmly up against the metal, the part that's going to get warm. So not just any metal, it's got to be the part that it's got to monitor. And so I'll just tack this one down right here. This one over here I'll tack down right like that. And as far as I know, this should be good. Customer said it was blowing fuses. That will cause it to blow fuses. So hopefully it's a quick and easy fix, and this customer will be on his way. Now for the news. Welcome to the first edition of Still Not Dead Friday Situational Awareness Brief. This is going to be like a little news brief that I do on Friday mornings, no set time, and I will just kind of culminate some of the most important news that you've heard about and news that you should have but didn't hear about. So let's start off with the weather, like a lot of people want to do. Apparently there's trouble brewing on the East Coast. There's another storm system that could be hitting the East Coast just after we went through a national storm that affected much of the nation. Oh, it wasn't the big bad storm that they were talking about, but it usually isn't anyway. They love that fear, right? More clicks. So keep in mind on that, if you're on the East Coast, that you may not be done with yet. Again, it's just the end of January, so we got a little more winter to come. It's going to be okay, Buttercup. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the economy, something that may not be okay, Buttercup. So here's the deal. I know right now I pulled up Market Watch and things are down. They're not, it's not run for the hills down at this point, but something to certainly keep an eye on. I do want to touch on something though that usually makes its rounds whenever there's financial turmoil or otherwise, and that is this push for silver and gold. Well, I'm going to say the one thing that the people pushing it hate. The good book says that people would be casting it in the streets. I always get a chuckle because some of these folks claim to be of faith, but yet they won't believe the word that their God gave them. That's ridiculous. So here's the thing. There are some people out there that are intentionally stocking extra supplies for people that are interested in bartering with precious metals. And that's not a bad idea. I'm not saying owning some is not a bad idea. But I wouldn't put a bunch of eggs in that basket. And the reason why is because people forget that from like the 1930s to the 1970s, it was illegal to buy, sell, or trade gold. Illegal. You don't think that the government will do that again when they do their new little Great Reset? I got news for you. So, I can't really tell you what to expect for the stock market because nobody can. The stock market's a game. It's not really reflective of the economy or the financial situation we're in. It's really not. By all rights, the stock market should have been tanked so long ago. I mean, 2008 should have completely tanked the stock market. It didn't. Why? Because it's a game. It's a game. Just like the fiat currency in itself. It's a game. Just keep your eye on what's going on. Of course, there's another shutdown looming. And, just all the ridiculousness with that. Once you sit back and watch this stuff and use critical thought, you see the game for what it is. You see a clear pattern every single time. So let's talk about security and conflict. So yesterday, I do believe I heard a B-2 fly over. So I'm a little watchful still on what's going on in Iran. I don't know. I've got my opinions. I think the nation building needs to stop on all parts. The U.S., Israel, even Russia, China. The nation building needs to stop. Period. It's enough. But it's not going to stop. It's also God's word. And we haven't even come close to seeing dark times yet. It's okay, Buttercup. We'll make it. We'll do. Some of the stuff that's been a little bit more subdued. Apparently there was a high-profile criminal case that ended this week with a guilty verdict of a double murder. And, it's concerning to see so many people in this nation push for complete federal control. Whether it be the left during COVID or the right during this deportation push, both sides essentially want to crumble up the Constitution and throw it in the trash can so they can have their way, so they can have control, so they can dictate what everybody else has to do. That's a shame. It's a shame. Not only a shame, it's a major disappointment. Major disappointment to the father and a major disappointment to the founders of this nation. People need to take a step back, take a breath, and reassess the entire situation, all of it, top to bottom. I've got an outline here. I'm, for the most part, not really following it, which I didn't intend to. I just wanted something to put up some guardrails for me. It did give me some preparedness tips. I feel goofy even saying them, because folks, you should know this stuff, okay? Check your non-perishable food and water stocks, verify heat and power backups, monitor local advisories, and plan for travel delays. Those are the tips that it was giving me. So, yeah. Pretty much about the same value of the prepper tips from the prepper channels, right? Right. You got to be reminded of these things. You either A, better be somebody that's brand spanking new to preparedness, and I don't even have a B. That's all. I mean, A. Oh, goodness. Well, I guess that's about all I got. I mean, there's a lot going on. Just keep your eyes open. Keep getting prepared. Do all the things that you know you should be doing. You don't need me or some other Yahoo on YouTube telling you to do what you need to do. In fact, the whole intent is to be self-sustainable, right? The whole intent is to be independent, right? So you shouldn't be leaning on me. You shouldn't be leaning on people like Bear Independent, who's gone off the deep end further than I could ever imagine. You find what's important for you in the preparedness space and focus on those things. Ignore the wannabe preppers on YouTube that always have a solution for you for the right price. I ain't got nothing to sell you. I ain't got anything I'm trying to gain from you. Nope. I just want to let you know what's going on without the propaganda, without the political slant, and without the nonsense fear-mongering that most of the channels have resorted to, so they can keep that check rolling in. Pretty crazy. You found value in this, and I don't know how the hell you could have, but, give it a share, maybe make a comment, ask questions if you want to know anything in particular. Remember, being informed is a practical, calm kind of strength. Remember that. Anyway, I'll see you next Friday for Still Not Dead Friday's Situational Awareness Brief, and maybe I can say it better. Shalom.